Good morning, everybody. Before we start, I would like to say that there's plenty of seating outside in an instance of a safety or an emergency to get somebody in or out. If you would be so kind to help us keep the walkways clear of people, and we will have a great day in court. But for the urgency of safety, if somebody needs to get out, let's make sure the pathways and doors are not crowded and nobody's standing by them. Thank you. It's now 10 o'clock, and the Brazos County Commissioners Court will come to order. The Commissioners Court of Brazos County will meet in regular session on July 29th at 10 a.m. Commissioner Brown, will you lead us in an invocation?
Yes, sir. Lord, we come to you with great expectations today. We ask that as you look down on this Commissioners Court, that you give us peace, that you give us calm, that you give us wisdom, and Lord, that we are good stewards of the county and good stewards of the taxpayers' money. Thank you for all that you do for us. May everyone have a great day, and thank you for being our Lord and Savior. In your name we pray, Lord. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yes, sir.
First order of business, citizens' input and concerns. The judge calls Derek Ratliff. Derek, please state your name and the precinct you live in.
I'm Derek Ratliff, Precinct 2. So my name is Derek Ratliff. I live at 5023 Wallace Road. I'm the founder of Horizon Firearms, the VP of Marketing for Circle Y Saddles, which is currently the largest manufacturer of Western saddles in the world. I'm an 8th generation Texan, a working cattle rancher. I'm a father of 2 boys, ages 5 and 12, who both attend Allen Academy here in Bryan. And apparently, according to Facebook on KBTX, I'm one of the old geezers that owns property on the east side of Bryan. So, and I'm opposed to the East Loops, and I guess that's who I am. This project does not represent progress. It threatens the very fabric of rural life, something that we're working really hard to preserve. I live in the area directly impacted by the proposed East Loop. Like my neighbors, I didn't ask for the loop, but it cuts through my property less than 200 yards from my back door, right through the middle of my boys' outdoor fort and the place where we like to trail ride our horses. It chips away at the lifestyle that I'm trying to pass down to my family. And I agree with many of the points that Commissioner Condrela said in the WTAW interview. I've read all the same documents you referred to and looked at the traffic studies provided a couple weeks ago to the court, comparing the flow with and without the East Loop. And it's clear that it's not a sound business decision. It's not to continue this particular project. We have all the information that we need from Quiddity to make this decision. And I also agree with them that redirecting the $7 million towards existing trip projects would be a really responsible business move. Canceling the Quiddity engineering contract makes sense financially, practically, and ethically. And I also appreciate the Commissioner's comments about rural road improvements, like switching from grading roads to chip seal. That was a project that was done in my home county, and it really improved rural citizens' lifestyle while saving the county a lot of money. So I really appreciate that. It's better for the county, and it's better for rural families like mine. And because here's the truth. The loop doesn't serve the people who live out there. It serves development interests. And in doing so, it demises the character of eastern Brazos County. The rural land isn't just empty space waiting to be paved. It feeds cattle and wildlife. It builds work ethic, family values, and legacy. When you run a road through it, you don't just change the land, but you change all the lives that are connected to it. My boys ride horses on that land. They fish in our tanks. They learn work and how to respect God and what God gave us. If we want them to grow to be young men who understand stewardship, grit, Texas values, we can't create that by continuing to carve up rural life. So I urge you to listen to the voices of the families who live out here, not just the developers who profit when asphalt goes down. Cancel the East Loop project, cancel Quiddity's contract, and honor the people that you are elected to serve. In closing in his interview, Commissioner shared a prayer that I deeply appreciate, and I'd like to add one line to it that I pray a lot, especially with this project. It's, may the next generations experience the Texas that I and the generation before me have been blessed to know. Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. Judge calls Thomas Jordan. Thomas, please state your name and precinct you live in.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Thomas Jordan, Captain, United States Navy, retired. I live in
Thank you for your
Precinct 2.
service.
You're welcome. Thank you, sir. I live in Precinct 2, and I'm here to talk about the Inner East Loop. I moved here 3 years ago after serving 26 years as a Navy surface warfare officer and dental corps officer. Me and my fiance built our home in the new Cook Crossing subdivision near Forest Lakes. Our backyard encompasses nearly 2 acres bounded by 100-year-old trees and a 50-acre cow pasture. We were thrilled to live in a beautiful rural setting near family and close to the amenities of a small city. Until last November, we had never heard of an Inner East Loop. If this project continues, we are faced with the prospect of having a 4-lane, 70-mile-per-hour highway literally feet from our property line. Instead of pastoral land, we'll be staring at cars and 18-wheelers speeding by. Instead of bird calls, the deafening roar of unobstructed highway traffic will be our new reality. And since the route does not directly affect our property, we will receive absolutely zero compensation for the complete destruction of our country lifestyle and the slashed property value of our home. In 2022, I voted in my first election as a Texan. I felt I did my due diligence and became educated on the candidates and the issues. I looked at the sample ballot, the county's voter information document, and KBTX's voter guide. None of these mentioned the East Loop. I do not recall receiving the mailer about Prop A and Prop B sent out by a political action committee. Nevertheless, I voted for Prop A because I had seen the need for improvements to roads and intersections all across town. I did not vote for Prop B. 2 years later, we found the money raised by Prop A was being used to plan a new highway, one that would be immediately adjacent to our property. Now, back in May, Judge Peters publicly admonished members of the No East Group in attendance here. He said that since Prop A had passed, the court could not stop progress on the loop. Regarding this, he said on record, quote, "It is the responsibility of this court to respect the will of the people," close quote. He also said that, quote, "The East Loop was on prominent display for all registered voters," close quote. In the run-up to the election, there was no mention of the East Loop by any elected county officials, in any public interviews, or in any official public notifications. It was not in the bond order, the bond election order, not in the voter information document, and not on the ballot initiative itself. Just that unreadable PAC mailer, which the court held up as evidence as voter notification. The public meeting this court further cited as notification was only extended by direct stakeholders in the project. Interestingly, the only mention of the Inner East Loop was, we could even find anywhere, was an interview with the RMA chair where he mentioned it would be one of the RMA projects funded by Prop B. As we all know, Prop B failed. So I have 2 questions. Was it really the will of the people that $11 million should be used to facilitate a massive highway project through the East County? 2, if the East Loop project was so prominently on display before the election, why did myself, members of the No East Loop group, and countless East County citizens vote for it? Why would we knowingly vote for something that would destroy our homes, chop up our ranches, and bring increased traffic, noise, and crime to our neighborhoods? I hope the answer to this is patently obvious. I'm heartened that the court seems to have finally recognized the East Loop project was a classic example of putting a very well-disguised cart before the horse. It was pursued without an initial feasibility study or a traffic study, was never presented to the voters, and when we spoke out, was met by silence and questionable justifications. Thank you, Commissioner Brown, for initially requesting an agenda item on this, and I urge you to cancel the liquidity contract later this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jordan. And please forgive me, having trouble with this. No, Mr. and Miss Papp? Is it H or M?
Margit Papp.
Margaret Papp. Sorry. That is on my eyes. Ms. Papp, thank you for being here. Please state your name and the precinct you live in.
I'm Margit Papp, Precinct 2.
Can you speak into the mic, please?
Oh,
Thank
Precinct
you.
2, Margit Papp.
Thank you very much.
I am a, can I start?
Yes, please.
I am a resident at 10379 Timbridge Drive, College Station. I'm here to respectfully ask the court to cancel the study and Inner East Loop project plan at large.
Ms. Pat, just
You can't
adjust
hear.
for everybody here. This is,
Okay, I'm sorry.
we're blessed with a big crowd today, and I want everybody to hear you.
All right. I'm a resident at 10379 Timbridge Drive, College Station. I'm here to respectfully ask the court to cancel the study and Inner East Loop project plan at large. We are negatively affected by the proposed project. We are only a few feet away from the properties that are up for eminent domain. We moved to this address 1.5 years ago. The development news hit me on a sunny day after I came back from Romania. I am from Romania. I saw a pink flyer taped to our mailbox. I opened it and I was shocked. It talked about a major road construction, a study, a plan. I looked around. There were horses grazing in front of me, a quiet neighborhood subdivision to the right and to the left. I went inside and I started looking. I was asking questions. What did I miss? You should have not bought the house. A life's investment, right? The rest is history. You all heard it too many times, how we oppose this development. It makes and made no sense. By trade, I'm a planner, a researcher. So I'm here to ask you, please, make a public participation plan. Include planners in your project. A multi-million-dollar project requires a multidisciplinary team. I see engineers by the bunch, but where are the planners? We are a community. There are community planners, advocacy planners, transportation planners, not engineers. Engineers have their place, but so do planners. Do not become a suburb. I don't want to become a suburb. I'm here for the country. I ask you, please promote the local, now I'm just going off. Promote your local heritage. There are planning tools that you can pick. Consider a country loop instead an inner loop. We do not need more paved farmlands. I am not a native, I'm an immigrant. I'm here to see the local heritage. I'm asking, who are you as people, as community, as Texans, when we are talking about making America great again? That means tying down our roots, celebrating who we are. And that's your legacy land owners. There are planning tools that you can use, like considering view sheds, not paved roads, highways, thoroughfares. And previous speakers addressed this very well, that this doesn't serve the people. Honestly, I likely go away. I will move back home. But people will remain here, the people who have fought for months now for this land. So please consider making plans that are preserving the heritage and also tells you who you are as Brazos. Not College Station, I'm an Aggie, not Aggies. The people, who are you as a community? Find it out, ask people, and create a public participation plan. So that's, I think everybody else said what I wanted to say, but include people in your plan making. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Patton. Judge now calls Kathy Veens. Kathy, please state your name and the precinct you live in.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Kathy Veens, Precinct 4. Back in January, the Roy Kelly parking garage was presented as an agenda item, and that was back in the day when we were allowed to ask questions at the podium and get answers at the podium, and there was a back and forth prior to the shutdown and sit down and shut up rule. And so I have 2 points I wanted to bring up this morning. One is the parking garage. I would like to know what the situation is as far as the county's maintenance of that building and the upgrade of the card pass situation, because my understanding is that it's supposed to provide free parking for the employees of the county, But every time we come on Tuesdays, the parking lot where we can park is jammed, and I'm assuming it's with employees that come here before 9 o'clock for work. And so the public that comes to speak at court has to find street parking or pay for the parking garage themselves when the county employees should be receiving free parking. I thought that was part of the agreement. And my second point for speaking this morning is on that sit down and shut up rule. The opportunity to ask questions at the podium on an agenda item is really important to me, and I think it's important to the community to facilitate transparency and a positive relationship with the court. And to deny people the opportunity to ask questions and get answers at the podium is not good use of the court's time, in my opinion, because if there are 5 people speaking on an agenda item with questions and you answer all the questions of the first speaker, it's very possible that the other 4 people are going to say our questions have been answered. And so I think it would be saving time for the court, and I don't think that it's unreasonable for the people, a community of 240,000 people, to ask for to be able to have that kind of a relationship. And I know you've said that you're available, and that's been true, available on a private basis to come and speak to you personally. But my position is when I ask questions at the podium, even if I have the answer to it, I want it to be on a public format so that everybody can hear those answers to those questions and that you're held accountable and there's transparency on those agenda items. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Judge calls Teresa Holland. Teresa, please state your name and the precinct you live in.
My name is Teresa Seaback Holland, and Precinct 2. My family owns 300 acres just off of Merker Road. I've been up here a couple of times, and I hope y'all aren't sick of me, but I'm just going to condense this. And about a year and a half ago, we entered into a contract with the City of Bryan, granting a utility easement down the middle of our property to service Della Ranch. We also agreed to annexation. In return, we got the service for the utilities for our own property. Together with the City of Bryan, we were laying the groundwork for a housing development of approximately 700 homes on our prime residential land. This highway preservation is counterproductive to these plans and negates that possibility of growth that the city wants. Makes me wonder if Quiddity ever talked to the city before they decided on their route. But anyway, so I'm asking, please cancel the Quiddity study and contract. It served its purpose by showing us that this inner loop is not the answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. I do believe this concludes the public comment section, and we will move to agenda item.
We have one more.
We have one more?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Jody, apologies, the paper turned quick. Jody Quimby, please state your name and the precinct you live in. I apologize, Jody. Paper stuck together. Good to see you.
Nice to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. Good morning. I'm Jody Quimby, Precinct 2. I'm here to also express a strong opinion to oppose the Inner East Loop, and the myriad of reasons have been presented over these past months to you, and I know you've heard those. I agree with them, and also know our property is not in the path of the roadway that's been proposed. But I realize if it is built, it will be in my pocketbook because there would be substantial cost that the county would have to put into that. And with the reduction in appraisals for properties within the path, the rest of us will have to pick up that in the meantime before it's built, and then if it gets built, we will have the increase in cost for the county, and that's got to be passed on to the citizens. So that's not really the main reason I oppose it. I oppose it because it's been proven to be unnecessary. The recent traffic study has been referred to is really a very solid reason to not go forward with the project. So I encourage you to terminate the quiddity contract and also terminate the East Loop project. Remove it from the MPO map and relieve the property owners from having the title to their property held hostage to a road project that has been proven to be unnecessary. So please, seriously consider what these citizens have expressed in heartfelt ways and cancel the entire project.
Jody, thank you. Thank you for forgiving me for having that paper stick together. We will continue on to agenda item 3, presentation and/or discussion of emergency preparedness and public notification presented by our emergency management coordinator, Jason Ware. Jason, thank you.
Oh. You would be driving already.
Point it this direction.
All right.
All right. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. I'm Jason Ware. I'm the Emergency Management Coordinator for Brazos County. Earlier this month, Commissioner Nettles reached out to me and asked if I could do a presentation for Commissioner's Court and to the citizens of Brazos County in reference to emergency preparedness and emergency notification. And when he reached out to me, I did some thinking on what would I actually present, and I could talk for hours, but I'll spare y'all that. Fortunately, I have done a lot of presentations on this particular subject, and so a lot of things came to me, and unfortunately, just a couple of nights later, after he sent me that email, we had a situation in Curtin that resulted in a fire, an injury to a resident or a worker at that plant, and it resulted in an evacuation of a half-mile radius around that plant. So these situations pop up even late at night, and what we're finding out is that there are people that are, tired of getting notifications in the middle of the nighttime, and they're turning their phones, they're turning settings off on their phones, and we can't reach them. So part of this presentation will tell you about why we need to be prepared, why we need to turn our notifications back on our phones, and how to do that. So I was looking around the room behind me when I walked in. It was full of people, and I was like, wow. Everybody saw the agenda and saw that I was giving a presentation, and I was excited. So we'll stick with that. All right. So thanks for coming to the emergency management presentation, everyone. I really appreciate that. But since 2015, in the last 10 years, we've had 5 state or federally disaster declarations declared for Brazos County. That's either an action by the county judge himself or an act by the Commissioner's Court, and they've ranged from severe flooding, countywide flooding, drought, wildfires, hurricanes, 2 of them in the last 10 years, Hurricane Beryl, Hurricane Harvey. We've had major flooding in the county that resulted in numerous water rescues, namely 2016. 2016, if you remember, Wheeler Ridge was hit by a tornado that resulted in numerous houses that were destroyed. There's Brazos County sits in an area. Fortunately, we have some newer technology in the area that assists with filling a gap that the National Weather Service radars can't pick up, but it doesn't solve problems. It just helps fill that gap. But sometimes that warning is not quick enough. But You know, so we do have that tornado problem here in Brazos County, 2 in the last 10 years. EF1 and EF2. They're not technically, on the grand scheme of things, those aren't necessarily strong, but just one tornado can cause quite a bit of damage. That EF2 tornado touched down on the east side of Brazos County back in 2019, and it did result in an injury to a gentleman. And I actually had the fortunate experience to actually talk to this gentleman about his encounters with that tornado and what he actually went through. You know, that still resonates with me today about what his experience was, and it leads me to that, you know, that emergency notification side of things. How quick, you know, what could have been done better? How quick could he have received that emergency warning if he would have just received that warning on his phone? In 2022, you know, I know that's a couple years ago, we had 258 pipeline encounters, ruptures of pipelines in Brazos County alone. Part of that was just distribution lines because of fiber going in, fiber construction, fiber lines being laid in the ground. So that may have been just small distribution lines in Brazos County, but these are pipeline incidents, release of natural gas in the area. 2024 data, 2025 data is not available, but in 2023 those incidents went down to about 33 because fiber is more prevalent now. In 2024 in South Brazos County in Precinct 1, we had a whole neighborhood evacuated where we actually used our emergency notification to notify a neighborhood in South Brazos County to evacuate at 10:30 at night to get them out of harm's way because we had a gas cloud down there. So why should we prepare? Well, that's easy. If we're not prepared, if our families aren't prepared, then we're not ready to act. If that emergency notification comes across your phone in the middle of the nighttime, or if we should have that severe weather event in the middle of the nighttime, or when you're traveling to work, or if you're sitting in here in the administration building in the middle of the daytime and that tornado warning drops. If you're not prepared, then you're not going to be ready to go when time comes. So how do we get prepared? Well, first off, we need to create that plan. If you don't have a plan, then you're not going to be ready. We plan every day, okay? If you're planning a camping trip for this weekend, you're already probably looking at the weather report, okay? A lot of what we do depends on the weather. If I'm planning a camping trip with my family, I'm probably pulling up the 7-day forecast on KBTX, and we're looking at, oh, it might rain this weekend. Or we got a chance for severe weather. Probably not going camping this weekend. Got a family picnic planned this weekend? Probably not. Probably going to pick the time that it doesn't look like we're going to get much rain, right? So we're already planning, okay? But it goes a little bit more in depth than that, okay? Identify the hazards that are prevalent at your house, okay, or at your workplace, to and from, and when you're traveling. Identify those hazards where you live, work, or travel, okay? If you're going on vacation, if you're traveling away from your home and you're going down to the coast, or if you're going to spend a weekend up in North Texas, identify those hazards that may be prevalent. If it's in the summertime, you probably don't have to worry about the snow, okay? But if you're in the wintertime, you may have to worry about a snow event, all right? Think about those different hazards. It may be anything from severe weather to wildfires to a snow event to, you know, hurricanes if you're going towards the coastal waters. You have to plan for the hazards that may be prevalent at those times, okay? But you also have to plan for the travel in between. Know your travel routes, all right? If you have, you know, think about if you're getting on an interstate, think about the travel routes. Hazardous materials are traveling up and down those interstates and those major highways all day, every day. Think about those travel routes, all right? But above all, when you create those plans, you have to practice those plans. Too many times we come up with those plans and then we just forget about them. You know, in grade school, we all had got our crayons out and we drew the pictures and the kids got involved and they drew pictures of a house and what do you do in a fire. We learned fire safety, and my 9-year-old kiddo in elementary school came home, Dad, look what I drew, and it was his house, the layout of his house, and had the doors marked, the windows marked for his evacuation plan and stuff, and we practiced it. We should be doing that as adults. It may sound weird or dumb or whatever, but in reality, if you have a fire in your house in the middle of the nighttime, or if there's a severe weather event at your place in the middle of the nighttime, the more prepared you are, the better you're going to react when something bad happens.
When I was a kid, this tells you how old I am. In elementary school, we were told to get under our desk in case of a nuclear holocaust.
Yep.
Like that was really going to help us. So anyway.
You know, Commissioner, I taught a CERT class last weekend to some Aggies out at Health Science Center, and I brought that up because we were teaching some light search and rescue, and I actually brought that up because they actually teach when in CERT, light search and rescue, that's a void space because a lot of people are finding shelter under their desk because of old teachings.
Yeah.
Like that. So number 2 is have that emergency kit. Think about things that you need to sustain yourself. Okay, have that kit, 3 days supply of food and water, because if you can't take care of yourself for a couple of days, because we only have so many resources, you only have so many firefighters, you have only so many EMS, so many law enforcement out there on the streets. You have to be able to sustain yourself in time, and it may only be a few hours, but you have to be able to sustain yourself for a little while. Okay, we only have so many resources, and the Texas Division of Emergency Management, they're great, but they only have so many resources, especially if it's widespread. We're going to do our best to get to you, but the more sustainability you have for your family, the better prepared you're going to be until we can get there, get you some resources. And Judge and I are going to be working on some planning in the near future, along with the Commissioner's Court and stuff, to make us more resilient. It's going to be great, but we can only do so much. The more resilient you are, the better Brazos County is going to be prepared, and that's the message we're going to try to preach, is that you've got to be prepared yourself. 3 days supply of water, 3 days supply of food. We've got a new website, and that will be in a future slide. On that website there's some planning, there's some preparedness stuff in there, and there's actually some stuff that you might want to put in your plan. In your preparedness kit. And some stuff, but one of the things about your preparedness kit is tailor it for your household, okay? Too many times you see a list of stuff that you should put in your preparedness kit, but it doesn't have anything to do with your household. Tailor it to you. If you have 4-legged furry friends running around your house, you might want to think about your furry friends too. They need food and water and everything else as well. They're part of your family. Take care of them as well, okay? But don't think about the big and bad. Think about a power outage, 6-hour power outage. Think about that cell phone. Think of ways to charge your cell phone. We're all lost without our cell phone, right? Think about ways of charging that cell phone. The biggest thing that I'll say today is stay informed. Okay, the more informed you are, the better off you're going to be. Okay, local alerts. I'll talk to you here in a minute about staying up to date on your local emergency alerts. If you don't get alerting on your phone, then we can't help you get that advanced warning. Okay, stay tuned into your official sources. Okay, whether it's local news media. Be careful with social media. There's a lot of stuff that goes out on social media that may or may not be accurate, okay? And that's why it says official sources, okay? Especially with a lot of the weather stuff out there. You'll see stuff that's posted on social media about tropical weather, and they're predicting that at the end of September, there's a tropical system or a hurricane that's going to brew in the Gulf of America. you got to be careful with that kind of stuff, okay? Make sure it's an official source, all right? But stay updated, monitor those weather forecasts, okay? One of the other things too is public health. With like in the local news yesterday, they reported that Brazos County Health District reported that there's West Nile detected within the mosquito population. If we get a heavy rain event and there's flooding, what comes with flooding? Mosquitoes, okay? So think about how natural weather events tie into public health concerns. Keep up with that kind of stuff as well, okay? Stay informed. Above all, once you get those weather alerts, if it's a flash flood watch, that's part of your plan, okay? You get a flood watch, start thinking about that. Use that as part of your planning tool. We get a flood watch, well, that engages my brain to start thinking about that plan, okay? Oh, we're in a flood watch. What do I do if we get into a flood warning or a flash flood warning? We're in a tornado watch. What should I do if we get into a tornado warning? So on and so forth, okay? Use those as kind of an activation tool for your plan, all right? Take action, activate your plan, secure your home if you have to leave. If we're in a severe thunderstorm watch, what comes with severe thunderstorms? High winds. Secure yard furniture, anything that could fly around. Consider your transportation. If I can't get out of my house, if I have to evacuate, think about calling a friend saying, hey, if I have to leave, can you come pick me up? Or things like that. Learn new skills, okay? If you aren't CPR certified, might learn some CPR. Learn first aid skills, things like that, that can help you help your neighbor. Know the difference, okay? There's a big difference between what you think you know and what you actually should know, okay? When you start seeing a forecast, that is what they think might happen, okay? Stay up to date. Weather.gov is a National Weather Service product, NOAA weather product that they put out that they think may happen. If you see something that says 1 to 3 inches of rain, possibility of 6 to 8, I would always err on the side that it's going to be 6 to 8 inches of rain, okay? Plan for the worst and hope for the best is the motto of emergency management, at least for Brazos County. We plan for the worst and hope for the best because you never know exactly what's going to happen, okay? If they're saying that it could be 6 to 8 inches of rain, then they're saying that the possibility is there for 6 to 8 inches of rain. If they issue a watch, that means be prepared. The conditions are favorable for that particular whatever they're putting a watch out for. If it's a tornado watch, the conditions are favorable for tornadic thunderstorms to develop. Okay, you need to be prepared to act if a warning is issued. If it's a tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm watch, tornado watch, flash flood watch, winter storm watch, the conditions are favorable for whatever that watch is being issued for, and that a warning could be issued at any point, okay? If a warning is issued, that means that it's imminent or that it's occurring and that you need to take action immediately, seek shelter immediately, okay? Don't just bypass it. Well, last time we were in a watch, it didn't happen. And too many times we've been put in a watch and nothing happened. There's a reason we were put in a watch, is because the conditions are favorable. We may not see it, but it doesn't mean that it can't happen, okay? So let's talk about emergency notification. I'll be wrapping up here shortly. Emergency notification in Brazos County, we utilize the Code Red emergency notification platform. Brazos County pays for that. We have several partners that partner with us on this system. One of the components of this Code Red system is actually a community enrollment portion of that system. So basically, we ask the residents within the county to register their cell phones within the system. So what this does is that in the older days when I first started, it was what we used to refer to as the reverse 911 system. And what this does is allows us in non-life-threatening situations. So if you have let's say there's law enforcement activity in the neighborhood and it's not necessarily a life-threatening situation, but we want to let the residents know, hey, something's going on. We want you to shelter in place. We can send that reverse 911 to those cell phones in that particular area and let folks know, hey, this is going on. If we don't have your cell phone registered, you're obviously not going to receive that notification. If it is a life-threatening situation, let's say an evacuation notice because of a hazmat situation or a large fire where we're evacuating a neighborhood, we will utilize the integrated public alert warning system, which is wireless emergency alerting technology. Basically, it's using cell phone technology to send that alert. Anybody that is in that geo-fenced quadrant that we draw on the map that is connected to the cell tower in that particular area is geo-fenced, meaning whoever is connected to that cell phone that's connected to that tower will receive those messages as long as your cell phone is turned on to receive those alerts. And bear with me, we'll get to that slide in just a second. But if you have those alerts turned off, you will not receive those notifications. So the community enrollment portion of that system is, if you go to our emergency management webpage there at em.brazoscountytx.gov, and our partners over at the Brazos County IT has done a phenomenal job of getting it switched over to our new web page and stuff, has done a great job of getting this set up. If you'll go over there and click on the emergency notification system tab at the top right hand corner, it'll actually take you to that little page over on the right hand side. It will ask you if you want to create a managed account. What that will allow you to do is create a login and password to allow you to change it if you should move or you want to update your information. It'll allow you to change that, so that way you can stop it or change the address so you can receive those notifications wherever you end up going. But this is what it looks like when you go in to register. And I left my email address in there for a reason, so if you actually want to copy that down, you can email me whenever you want to. I don't mind emails. But this is what it looks like when you go to register. In there, once you create your information, you can put your cell phone number, you can put your address, you can put if you want to put another address in there to be alerted to, so if your kid's school, if you want to put your work address in there to receive notifications for, you can do that. So it's not necessarily your home address, but you can put multiple addresses, so that way you can receive notification wherever you're at, especially if you have interest in that location. But you can also choose if you want to receive tornado, severe thunderstorm, or flash flood warnings directly to your cell phone as well, that are produced by the National Weather Service. And those are geo-fenced specifically to the address that you put into the subscription, to the registration. So if you live on the north end of Brazos County and you put in the flash flood warning is for South Brazos County, you won't receive a notification at 2:30 in the morning. It's geo-fenced specifically to where that warning was put in. So it's really nice, and you're not receiving notifications all the time. Either way, those are specific to that registration. This is for the community enrollment. I highly recommend that if you haven't registered your cell phone, please do that. However, the other side of the emergency notification system is the wireless emergency alerting system that is used during life-threatening situations. There is a setting in both iPhone and Android. So if you have an iPhone and you go into your settings, under notifications, you will see something called government alerts. Under government alerts, you'll see Amber Alerts, emergency alerts, public safety alerts, and then test alerts. And this is screenshots from my iPhone. Those are the alerts that I have on. One thing under government alerts is, regardless, you cannot turn off the presidential alert. So you will receive anything from the president, regardless if you turn off the government alerts or not. So you can't stop that. But if you turn off the emergency alerts and public safety alerts, you will not receive any of the wireless emergency alerts from my office or 911 dispatch if we send out a wireless emergency alert. So if you turn off the emergency alerts and local awareness, any of that stuff, then you will be pretty much left in the dark. So if you if any of those notifications are turned off, the emergency alerts or public safety alerts, then I highly recommend you go into your settings on your iPhone and turn those back on, please. Okay. If you have an Android, it actually gets it a little bit more in depth. So if you go to settings, safety and emergency, once you get under there, go to wireless emergency alerts, and then it says allow alerts, and then you can actually break it down into extreme threats, severe threats, and then you can look at what you want to turn on. And then you can actually turn on public safety messages and state local tests. But if you turn on extreme threats, severe threats, and public safety messages, then we can reach you with EAS, which is, or wireless emergency alerts. So with that being said, please plan ahead. It wasn't raining when Noah built the ark. Do y'all have any questions?
Jason, yeah, I'm sure our commissioners do. I just want to say thank you for the presentation. I want to look at Commissioner Nettles. Thank you for bringing this to the agenda today with the timing of the hill country disaster and things that can happen. And as you and I have been talking about the last 4 or 5 days, on 6 or 7 weekends a year, we go from a population of 250,000 to well over 1 million, and our emergency management planning needs to be buttoned up. And I had a good meeting with the sheriff, all the PDs, fire departments, and I look forward to continuing this talk. And as you and I both discussed, the legislature is trying to figure out how to help us notify citizens in a timely manner, and I think you will have a role in that, and I appreciate all your hard work.
Thanks, sir.
Any other commissioners?
Well, I guess you prove the point that we need to be, I'm one of those that kind of turned off their alerts, so you prove the point that it's, while we hate hearing that, and sometimes it'll kind of startle you, but, you know, it's a necessary if we don't want what happened in the hill country to happen to those of us in Brazos County. So you can only do so much if we don't do our part for our own personal safety and that of our family.
And one of the things I do want to point out that we don't use our emergency notification system to let you know your water's going to be out for an hour or anything like that. We believe in preserving the emergency notification system for true emergencies that affect life safety or emergency notification, true emergency notifications, because we understand notification fatigue. And so we're not utilizing our emergency notification system for non-life safety issues. So I understand that side of things, and I don't want to be woke up at 2:30 in the morning for something that's not a life safety issue.
Thank you, Jason. Thanks
Thank
for
you,
coming
sir.
down.
Yep.
And I really hope all the folks that showed up for your presentation today
Thank y'all very much for showing up. I appreciate y'all very much.
will take the information and share it with your neighbors, because, you know, getting that alert in the middle of the night when you need it is critical. So,
I just wanted to one last thing is, when you said create a family emergency plan, I really appreciate that, and that's an easy one to forget in a presentation. But October 28, 2008, our home caught on fire, and it was we had a room fully involved in fire, and we had a plan. Everyone was out at the stop sign at the corner of the property. I had fire extinguishers there, and once we knew everyone was secure, I was able to go in and get that room out, much to the chagrin of the fire inspector, who told me, don't ever do that again and let us do our job. But anyway, had we not had that plan, it would have been an emergency to make a plan all of a sudden, and that would have been very scary and potentially had a different outcome. So I would just echo that hard. I saw you echoed it several times. Create a family plan, where to get out, how to get out, have emergency, preparation mindset, that you stay calm, that you do what you need to do. If you have fire extinguishers, that's wonderful. 6 months ago, our zero-turn mower caught on fire, and my son got it out with a fire extinguisher, and I was so proud of him because he kept calm and knew what to do. But yeah, definitely being prepared is huge.
Commissioner, I'll come and do a special presentation on fire safety for you, sir.
Thank you. I'll get out next time. I'll get out.
Thank you
It will be
very
a full
much.
house as well.
I
Appreciate it.
My wife has just
So-
now started talking to me again.
Bottom line, planning for a situation takes the stress out of a stressful situation.
Absolutely.
Amen. Yeah.
Jason, thank you.
Thank y'all very
Jason.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're blessed to have you. Back on the agenda, consider and discuss the approval to terminate the contract with Quiddity Engineering for study and design of an inner
I'd
east
like to
loop.
make a motion.
Chair recognizes
And I second.
Commissioner Conderla.
I move the
And I
inner.
second that.
Well, I haven't made the motion yet.
Oh,
Fred, what if I was saying we should build 2 loops and you?
I doubt
I'm not.
I doubt you're gonna say that.
You're right. It's been a long time coming. I move the Interloop Phase 1 project be permanently abandoned, that the county give Quiddity Engineering LLC 15 days' notice of the termination of the agreement, and confirm that termination is not in the fault of the engineer.
Second.
And we have a motion and a second. It is the judge's intent to allow the commissioners to speak on this and then open it up to public comment. Excuse me. With that being said, the order will be Commissioner Conler, Commissioner Brown, Commissioner Watson, Commissioner Nettles, and then I will say a few words and then open it to public contact. Commissioner Conler, the floor is yours.
Well, first I want to thank all of you that have come to the meetings, that have done their own research, for being involved in a process, for those that emailed, had conversations, and for those who spoke in court. And that's not always easy to do, but people came and spoke in court. And I want you to know I have listened to you and I've heard. I'm actually terrible at crossword puzzles. But I have been taking notes on your input, literally every one. In fact, there were public information requested recently, so I've got a whole stack of these I'll be submitting to Mike Sutherland. But they're coming, Mike. That said, and before I go further, I want to tell you my comments are not politically motivated. I'm not running in the next election, and I still believe stopping the East Loop project is the correct thing to do. This may come as a shock to the very people who helped me come to this conclusion, but many of you did help me get here. And thank you. That's why I followed court procedure and made the first written request for this item to be added to the agenda. Many compelling points have been made on this issue: use, need, timing, preservation, costs, benefit, awareness. I could go on and on. I've spoken with and heard from a lot of people in this room, in Precinct 2, in the county, in my own family, sharing with me most people were unaware of the Proposition A of the November 2022 trip bond contained the East Loop project. That's a big stumbling block for me to move forward. No one on this dais was on the court then. With the approval of the bond, the county bid out the study, selected an engineering firm, and began the study. Quiddity has been very professional, great communication, met with constituents, answered court concerns, and drastically lessened the initial number of homes and properties affected by the initial proposed routes versus a preferred route. That said, homes would be affected, land would be affected, families affected. Neighboring properties not on the route would be affected. Any route across the East County with delayed potential to use or build means people would not be easily able to sell, develop, or build on their property. for 10, 20, 30 or more years for a road that may not come. They would still pay taxes on that property as well. That would be unfair, and I cannot, in good conscience, go along. Very good intentions began the conversations of a road to bring us together. I fear it's tearing us apart. May Jesus heal our wounds. I feel confident this motion is the best course of action after all we've seen and heard.
Thank you, Commissioner Conrad. Commissioner Brown?
You know, the sad thing about this entire process is that it's caused so much uneasiness and conflict within families that would be affected. I have property at the end of 1179. Of course, it would not affect me because I'm at the end of 1179. But I wouldn't want somebody drawing a line through my property and not giving me the ability to sell it in the future or to use it the way I wanted to because I'd have a highway going through it. So I'm elated. I think this thing's going to pass. I really do. And I'm sorry that we put you through so much heartburn and heartache over the last 4 years. Two of us on this commission have just started in January, and both of us now have gotten our business cards, so I guess we're kind of real commissioners now. But I want to thank you all for coming out every single week and telling us how bad it's going to disrupt your lives. And I'm just thankful that we've gotten to this point, and hopefully when we vote on this in a little bit, this is going to go away, and we're going to make a lot of people really happy. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Brown. Commissioner Watson?
Well, I just think that, yes, as Chuck said, none of us were on here, so it sort of was a steep learning curve for myself also. And so from my understanding, it was a plan that started with the best of intentions that turned out to not have the best intentions for the residents of Brazos County. So the decision has been made, and we move forward, and again, it's just unfortunate, but again, as an elected official, you try to make the best decisions that you can for the residents of the county. This turned out not to be one of those decisions. Like I said, it was started with the best of intentions. It did not turn out to be that way, and the impact of that is where we are today. So thank you all for your participation in this process.
Thank you, Commissioner Watson. Commissioner Nettles?
Yeah, when I was elected in 2024 to come to this court, I felt like the voters sent a clear message, at least to me, that they wanted a commissioner on the court to ensure the public's trust was restored, that we built consensus amongst our colleagues to keep taxes low, seek greater efficiencies of government, and get the most out of every dollar that's provided to us by the taxpayers, and also to improve traffic flow now and in the future by investing in transportation infrastructure. Since joining this court 7 months ago, I've tried to approach each issue that come before the court, prioritizing the best interests of the Brazos County and our residents. After careful consideration and extensive discussions with staff, Quiddity engineers who did a great job for us, did everything we asked them to do, and with the residents that are impacted by this study, regarding the inner loop study, I decided to support the termination of this project. The primary reason for this decision is the recognition that the current approach does not align with the evolving needs and priorities of our community. Feedback from constituents have highlighted concerns regarding the potential impacts to neighborhoods, to traffic patterns, and overall environment. Additionally, to date, phase 1 of the study has not yielded the concrete solutions that I had initially hoped for, leading to increased uncertainty and frustration among our residents. Furthermore, as we navigate budget constraints, because we're right in the middle of our budget process, and its competing priorities, it's essential to allocate our limited resources toward projects that will deliver tangible benefits to our community. By terminating the inner loop study, we can redirect the focus of those funds toward initiatives that enhance the public safety, improve infrastructure, and our ability to get around our community and support economic development. I remain committed to fostering open dialogue with our community members, exploring alternative solutions that truly reflect the needs of our Brazos County. Together, we can work towards a future that prioritizes the well-being of our residents and the sustainable growth of our country and our county. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Nettles. I want to thank Quiddity. I want to thank this court, and I especially want to thank the team that works here at Brazos County. Some very talented individuals that I have grown to know over the last few weeks. But more importantly, I'm looking out at you all. Thank you for your input. I started a few weeks ago in an interim job, and I'm glad to be here, honored. But your input and the ability to talk, work toward a transparent way this court operates, only works with your patience, faith, and a civil dialogue. And I am thankful for that. So with that time, we will now move into citizens' comments. And the judge calls Robert Johnson on agenda item number 4. Robert, please state your name and the precinct you live in.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Robert Johnson, and I live in Precinct 2. I want to thank you commissioners and you judge for putting the Inner East Loop on the agenda and for doing an analysis of the facts presented to from our group and for those put out by the study. These are two things that were precisely what we've been asking, and we are excited that the will of the people is being recognized. As you consider what to do, I want to ask that you make your decision based on the facts, the will of the people, and the understanding of the full impact this project has had and will have on your constituents' lives. The facts are undeniable. Population growth in East County and traffic that will go along with it do not show a need for the roadway. The cost of this project so far and what it would cost to build it are well beyond what the county can deal with. There are roadway projects that are needed, and by prioritizing things, there's no need for John Polster's group or this project. Cutting both will save a tremendous amount of money. The will of the people has been plain. No one who lives here wants the road. We all understand progress, and we've all thought of the possibility of dealing with more traffic congestion in the future. But we all know that expanding Highway 6 will take care of north-south needs, and the 1179 expansion will help address east-west travel. There's no need for yet another roadway. We also have a vision for our county that the elected officials need to recognize and adapt. Get rid of the vision of a new Harris County. All of us living in Brazos County and those who will move here do so because we don't want that. We want a simpler life, and one where we live in a relatively rural environment surrounding small cities. Those of us living in the county want to drive into town for groceries, our jobs, and whatever else. We don't want those things coming out to us. We want to protect our way of life and our rural environment. I just got back from a family trip to Washington, D.C. and Philadelphia. We were walking around beautiful Mount Vernon, and I saw a sign regarding the forest areas that the father of our country helped preserve around his estate. It held a quote from George Washington stating, "It is always in one's power to cut a tree down, but time only can place them where one would have them after the ground is stripped." Meaning that once we do that, it's gone, so we need to be careful with that power. Once we turn rural to urban, we can't undo it. Finally, this project has had a huge negative impact on all of our lives since its announcement. Some of the people you represent are worried they will lose all they have. Others are worried what they have will be changed into something they don't want. It's a project that has hurt people mentally, spiritually, and physically with worries about the future of their families and homes. Everyone who is a part of No East Loop has dedicated their time and efforts to fighting this and protecting each other. This is the good from the bad. We've gotten to know our neighbors and care about everyone's future. Despite our differences, we've united to help each other maintain their lives and their dreams of the future for their families and themselves. I urge you as a committee to join us. Learn about the people you represent, really hear us, and do the right thing. Our family vacation to the center of our democracy helped rejuvenate my hope for this great country. and it gave me a new perspective on this experience that has haunted and hurt me. I see it now as a renewal of this area's love for each other, how united people can be, no matter how different we are in beliefs, backgrounds, and experiences. How people can and will fight injustice because people do care about each other. George Washington is a great example for everyone of true leadership and of a good person. He understood the temptation of power and the importance to wield it justly. His example was to go home when others willed him to continue as president. You all have a lot of power as a commission, so use it justly. Please follow the facts, do what's right, and take care of your people. Stop this loop.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. The court calls Mike Sutherland. Mr. Sutherland, please state your name and the precinct you live in. He's coming from the back, so please be patient. Take your time. Good? You need water? You got water. I got it, thanks. Thank you, Mike. You don't have to hustle. I see you.
I don't want you to count my time on how long it takes me to get up here.
It doesn't start till you tell me what precinct you live in.
Thank you all very much for doing this. This is a great day for everybody who's come here for the last 8 months and said, please stop this. And thank you for leading the way, I think, Commissioner Brown, for trying to get this on the agenda. And to get it on the agenda just allows us... Excuse me. Please start with your name. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I thought he said that already. Mike Sutherland, and I'm in Precinct 3. Thank you for having us. Did that count against my time? No, sir. Okay. All right. Anyway, so thank you all for doing this. It's a wonderful day for the people that's come and ask you to at least talk about it initially. The problem that I see is that it's not over for you. You don't have the authority to stop the project. The MPO has the authority. And as long as it's on the MPO map, we're still at the mercy of that route going through our property. Most of it's in Bryan, the city of Bryan, not in the city limits, but in the ETJ. And so you'll have to go to them and say, can I build something in this right-of-way? And they can say no. And so like if you want to expand, put your kid's house in that right-of-way, you couldn't do it. It's got to come off of the MPO plan. And our Commissioner Nettles is our board member for that. And there's 6 members on there. And so y'all got to convince them to take it off. So as long as it's on the map, we're still stuck. And so what you could do, though, in the short run, is you could send a letter to the appraisal district, say you don't want it. You could also send a letter to all the landowners who are in the way of it so that they'll have something to show that you don't want it, it's not likely to come, and they can continue with their normal construction. Because they'll have to show Bryan that. If you look at the route, most of it's in the Bryan ETJ. So it's not over, so please don't look at it right now as you've done. I mean, it's a great, wonderful thing for all of us because you listen to us, but you still got work to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Court calls Beverly Greenwood. Ms. Greenwood, please state your name and the precinct you live in.
Good morning. I'm Beverly Greenwood. I am from Precinct 2, but today I will be speaking on behalf of Janice Marcia Ransom Oden, who is a Precinct 2 property owner of 942 acres. My parents grew up during the Depression and had absolutely nothing except what was on their back. Through hard work and dedication, they accumulated something for themselves and their families, and for future generations. They were people of integrity, fulfilling for their family what they had always longed for themselves. My father became a caddy at age 10, needing the work for his family's survival. He put cardboard in the soles of his shoes to manage the walk to the Houston Country Club. He taught himself how to play golf by swinging a club while looking in a mirror. Through the grace of God, time well spent practicing, hard work and determination, Henry Ransom became a world champion golfer. He went on to coach the Texas A&M golf team for 15 years, winning the Southwest Conference Championship 6 times. My mother, under the guidance of her mother and her Sicilian stepfather, picked cotton in the fields of the Brazos Valley Bottom and attended the Steel Store School in historic Mudville, not far from current-day Mumford. Together, through this mutual hardship, hard work, and dedication, my father won the prestigious 1958 PGA World Championship of Golf, a year before Ben Hogan. As the only child on the tour, Marcia was called Ben Hogan, Uncle Ben. With a prize money of $10,000 and lots of prayers, they obtained loans from the Federal Land Bank. My mother and father invested that money into the land that is being proposed for the Inner East Loop. This land was to provide for future generations of children and grandchildren that now includes 27 family members. I am most certainly aware of the surrounding community members who would be affected by the Inner East Loop. There are many who have similar stories, having also been established for generations upon generations. Please, I ask, as public servants, fulfill your honor and your responsibility to your constituents. Honor the fact that many lives will be devastated. We are imploring you to act towards us as you would like to be treated yourselves if you were in the same position as we find ourselves in. It is our right to be informed about these sorts of decisions before they're made. I am diligently praying that the Inner East Loop will be canceled. Thank you, Janice Marcia Ransom Odom. And on behalf of No East Loop and everyone, and wow, we have had so many great conversations. We have had so many people talk to us about this. I've talked for hours on the phone, and I know, Commissioner Condola, it hurts your heart, but I'm telling you, the community is stronger. So when God puts us in a place, we have to know that his motives are always better and that he can make good from bad. Mm-hmm. Thank you, sir.
Amen. Beverly, I want to thank you and Kyle, because if it was not for you all, the passion that you've shown during this whole process, all these other people would not have even been involved. So thank you so much for what you all have done.
Oh, wait, no clapping, no clapping.
Yeah, stop clapping.
Beverly, thank you. And Ms. Ransom, thank you for your note.
Thank you, Judge.
Court calls Sam Abiog. Ms. Abiog, please state your name and the precinct you live in.
Yes, good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. It's wonderful to see you all again. My name is Sam Abiog, and I'm a new resident of Precinct 2 on Ridgeview Estates Lane. And I really want to pause and just take a moment to just thank each one of you for your statements today. That's actually changed my speech. Because, you know, I'm here to actually represent those that are moving here. I think I've been here about 3.5 months. I'm counting the days to my daughter's wedding, and this was just an out-of-the-blue situation where, you know, I see these no East Loop signs, and, you know, we sold our home in Collin County and moved here with so much joy and anticipation. And then to hear all this, and thanks to Kyle and Beverly, of course, you know, following their Facebook page. But I'm here to just say thank you for listening. Thank you for, you know, just taking the time. I know it took a while to get here, but taking the time to listen. As elected officials, I think I'm always reminded by our Senator Angela Paxton, where she says, listen, learn, and lead. That's her motto, and I have learned a lot from her. But this weekend, I spoke with a 24-year-old, and she was just discovering about this East Loop, that it would run directly through her family member's property. And it was heartbreaking to hear the distress in her voice, but it was heartening to see her relief when she learned that so many people were actually speaking and advocating on her behalf. Your willingness to listen and now act truly reflects a commitment to public service and responsible leadership. I join many of my neighbors in urging you to vote yes to terminate this contract and the engineering study of the Inner East Loop. This decision goes beyond just one project. It's about ensuring transparency, accountability, and meaningful public involvement in shaping the future of our county. As a proud Aggie mom, I'd like to highlight the incredible engineering talent right here in Brazos County. There are professionals that understand and appreciate the unique needs of this area, and they're best positioned to lead any future infrastructure work with both excellence and empathy. As you are aware, more and more Aggies are returning to settle here in Brazos County, including a daughter of mine. Growth is happening, and because of your leadership, this community continues to offer us safe neighborhoods, excellent schools, welcoming churches, and a strong sense of family life. Residents here value thoughtful planning, open communication, and transparency between elected officials and the public. And this group back here definitely have kind of jump-started that engine. With that in mind, I respectfully ask you to make a firm and clear decision today. Vote to terminate the contract with Quiddity. And going forward, kindly ensure that the community voices are fully engaged in every step of major infrastructure planning, from design to implementation. Let's continue working together, residents, professionals, and elected officials, including inviting new people like me to participate in the conversation. Let's ensure that the future development reflects the values, priorities, and vision of Brazos County. Thank you so much for your service and your time.
Thank you, Ms. Abiog. The court calls Kyle Greenwood. Kyle, please state your name and precinct you live in.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Kyle Greenwood, Precinct 2.
What's the name?
Normally, I'm here to oppose the Inner East Loop, but I've changed, and it's taken me 9 months to get here. Today, I speak in support of the court's motion to terminate the contract with Quiddity. On the evening of May 6, the No East Loop group initiated a petition drive, and since then, that was the night of the second alignment reveal. Since then, while gathering signatures, we have engaged citizens all over town, educating them and participating in citywide events like various festivals, First Fridays in downtown Bryan, and farmers markets. In that time, we have gathered nearly 2,000 signatures on our petition, and the petition said, in quote, to cease and desist from any further actions relative to the Inner East Loop project, among other things. Though this process has been stressful and challenging at times, I feel it has also been rewarding. It's rewarding in that the county, as well as the cities now, clearly see that not only is this road not needed, but there's also no public support for a road such as this. Also rewarding in that it's caused so many citizens to get involved and learn about local government and how the process works. And finally, rewarding in that it's helped to build community in a part of the county where it's not as easy to get to know your neighbors. And while I will say we fell short of our goal in these petitions and the signatures, I feel certain that much like the Aggies, if we just had enough time, we'd have gotten there. I'd like to thank Commissioner Conderla for submitting his request to terminate this contract. I'd like to thank Commissioner Brown for having the courage to speak out even when it was not a popular position. And finally, to you, Judge Cassell, I want to thank you for your leadership in making this day a reality. Today will be a great day for Brazos County. And I also want to invite everybody to join us tonight as we celebrate at Joe's Place in Curtin on Highway 21. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Greenwood.
At 6.
At 6, thank you.
No Brits.
Jason will take you at 5.
You had me.
Court calls Chessie Orzako. Did I get that right? Chelsea? Orzako? Chelsea, if you're walking up, just wave so I know you're coming. I got her. She is on her way. Thank you. Please be patient. You do know we have a crowd today, and we are blessed. Chelsea, no need to hustle. State your name and the precinct you live in when you arrive at the podium. You can hand that to the ladies, yes. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Chelsea Orozco, Precinct 2. I am a wife and mom of the Bryan community, and before you tune out because you hear my northern accent, please know that I came to Texas seeking all the things my blue state lacked. I fell in love with Texas culture, the people, the open conversations of Jesus, and my husband, a lifelong Bryan resident. We have 3 beautiful boys, Mark, Jacob, and Abraham, and honestly, I find it pretty ironic that I moved from Chicago, a loving lake called Cook County, and this is when I'm asking my government not to tread on me. This time a year ago was such a high for our family. Mark was 8, Jacob was 14 months, and Abraham was a newborn. Our family was complete, life was beautiful, and our dreams for our family were plentiful and robust. But then life threw us the unimaginable. On August 2nd, we woke up to what we thought was going to be a typical Friday, only to realize our family was going to be forever broken. Jacob, our 14-month-old middle son, passed away in his sleep. After a thorough autopsy, his passing was labeled as SUDC, sudden unexplained death of a child. To summarize, we will never have answers on why he left this earth. Heaven needed another perfect angel, and Jesus gets to have him. And this Saturday will be 1 full year that I haven't heard his little laugh. 2 months after his passing, we were informed that a potential road was going right through our living room. The property we love, the property that Jacob loved, would be gone. I can tell you, it is so hard to keep going and persevere and show up to a story that you really didn't want written. It's even harder when you're embracing being handed even more negative chapters. It is one thing to work to reconcile tragic life events when Jesus is in control, and it is another to reconcile them when it is the government. The plan of the East Loop has put our grief on hold. It is so hard to try to rebuild when so much of our lives are still a question mark. We are emotionally and physically stuck. The only thing keeping us going is our faith in Jesus. I didn't get a chance to fight for Jacob, so I will fight for my family. Our 2 other sons have already lost their brother, and as a mom, I can't sit back and silently watch our elected officials take their home away as well. We need our property. We need our Jacob tree that we planted for what would have been his 2nd birthday. We need the barn that we are talking about doing a little animal rescue in his name. I need the bluebirds he sends me. There is no amount of money that the government can give me to make me want to leave. Part of Jacob is there, and I need to be there with him. Commissioners, please know that every story you hear is filled with a lot. Stories of grief, sorrow, happiness, legacy, past, futures. But most of all, they are stories full of love. So much love. So let your constituents be in charge of this part of their story. A home is more than a house. I know this is an emotional plea, but people a lot smarter than myself have been making numerous logical cases, and it is clear, Commissioners, I am asking you to vote to stop this unnecessary, expensive, and damaging project. No East Loop. Thank you.
Chelsea.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Thank you for your strength, your faith, and our prayers for Jacob and your family.
Thank you for your opinions. It's going to be a tremendous weight off of our family's shoulder, so thank you.
God bless.
Chelsea.
The court now calls Mary Lynn Strada. Ms. Strada, please state your name and the precinct you live in.
Mary Lynn Strada, Precinct 2. And I want you to know I haven't changed a single word of what I was going to say today, because I came here today to say thank you. First of all, I want to thank you all for your service in general. I worked in public service 51 years.
Was that close by, or?
And I know it can be a thankless job, so I want to thank you for your service in general. And I want to thank all Brazos County employees. So many times our public employees don't get the recognition and the thanks they deserve. So thanks to them as well. I want to say thank you for having the courage to put this item on the agenda. It took a lot of courage to do that. And I want to thank you for that. You know, it's not always easy to do the right thing, but it's always right to do the right thing. My mother used to say that to me all the time, and I've never forgotten it. And since I truly believe the right thing to do is to stop this project, I encourage you to vote yes on the motion that was made today. And I want to thank Commissioner Conderla for putting the word permanently in that motion. I heard you. So, you know, over the last 9 months, I've experienced and I have watched my neighbors experience heartache, worry, stress, despair, and anxiety over the loss of their quality of life, their property values, legacy and family farms and ranches, and their livelihood in some cases. And it's been heartbreaking to hear. But you heard it. And I will tell you that's rare in public service, and you are to be commended. I'd like to quote you, Judge Cassell, quickly. It has since become clear that there is not a current purpose for the county to continue a study for a road the county would neither construct nor maintain. That has made more sense to me than anything I've heard prior to today's meeting, and I want to thank you for that. I would also like to take this opportunity to encourage you, whether the law requires it or not, that on future bond elections, that you list on the ballot the projects that will be funded by that bond issuance. We could have avoided a lot of confusion that way. And so whether you have to or not, I think it's the right thing to do, and I would encourage you to do so. I want to thank you all again. I want to thank you for your courage. I want to thank you for hearing us, for standing up for us, and may God richly bless you all. Thank you, Judge.
Marilyn, thank you.
Commissioners.
God bless. Court now calls Michelle Castillo. Please state your name and the precinct you live in. Michelle Castillo. She's coming from the back. Do not run. You have plenty of time. Thank everybody for their patience today. Thank you, Ms. Castillo. Please state your name and the precinct you live in.
I'm Michelle Castillo, precinct number 2.
Welcome.
Thank you. So I'm here to talk on behalf of my parents, Sandra and Saul Castillo, who live in precinct 2. My parents were looking for the American dream. They worked so hard to buy the piece of land they own today. With hard work and dedication, they achieved a goal of building a new home for my siblings and I. In 2017, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. That evening, we all went to the back pasture, cried, talked, and enjoyed the peace. After my mom did her chemo each day, she would just relax in the back porch and enjoyed hearing the birds fly around. While feeding her chickens, there were nights where me and her would just look at the stars, talk about how this place was meant for my siblings and I, and our future family. I am born and raised in Bryan. Seeing what I know be destroyed by a highway is absurd. Taking our house is taking our home, hope for our future family, and the hard work of my parents. This project now will not only affect my family, but many more families that have done nothing wrong, but living their lives in the lands they worked hard for. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Castillo, thank you very much.
Thank you.
The court now calls John Book. Mr. Book, please state your name and the precinct you live in, and take your time.
Good morning. John Book, Precinct 2. I came before this court November 19th, 9 months ago, and I asked for consideration workshops. It requires servant leadership to do what you are doing today, God willing. As a person of prayer and of faith, I've been heartened by the community outreach, the community efforts. It requires us all, as citizens of Brazos County, to be respectful and to disagree with respect. And they've done that. What goes from today, and I'm heartened by the humility of this court, is how do you advocate for your constituents in a more clear and compelling way? It's humbling. It's humbling to me. I didn't believe this day would come. Not for political reasons. I have utter faith in humanity on this because of my faith. The persistent widow has come to this lectern here, pleading their case as a court of last resort. And yet, this work is not yet done. It has only begun. By y'all on the court, whether serving beyond this term or beyond, and I'm praying for Judge Peters and his health. And I am hopeful that lessons have been learned, that faith is strengthened, that people are strengthened. The fear that was in this community to be responded to say by others of the members of the public, not by this court, there's just no satisfying this group. That is patently out, is not correct. Your work today sustains that hope. The community that we have now and the community that we have in 40 years is utterly important no matter which way you slice it. And growth will come, but it takes an involved constituency. It takes an involved elected body to cut through the lines on a page and to understand very clearly that MPO map is still in existence. And this is not the court directly, but it has to cut through the bureaucracy. Policies being in place and procedures being placed what they are. Thank you for the courage to put it before the court today. Please vote for killing this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Buck. The court now calls Adam Perdue. Mr. Perdue, I see you. Please take your time. The court calls Adam Perdue. Please state your name and the precinct you live in. We did establish it. We wanted to go with Adam and not Dr. Perdue, correct?
Yeah, it was Adam,
Okay.
right? So last time
sure.
we had a little back and forth about that. But yeah, Adam Perdue, Precinct 2. And so yeah, normal course of events, everybody can just call me Adam. That's my nature. I don't want it. Normal course. And I'm not shy to talk about my expertise when it's relevant. And so today it'll be relevant again. Right? And it's been relevant since the first week of November. KPTX over there has some B-roll where I've made all of these claims and all of these points that we've known to be true since then. Right? The demographic forecast that so all of this has been based on was overinflated. Despite that overinflated forecast that they used at the beginning of this, the demographic study of the way people would live within Brazos County was just up and down 6. Both of these made it clear already that no highway was ever going to be needed based on anything from the MPO forecast. And so then we get the idea that it's a bypass, right, to help traffic on 6. Bypasses don't work like that. You don't take the longer route as opposed to the shorter route. Next, we get a loop. Loops don't work like that. In order for a loop to be the justification for this, you need significant numbers of people coming from one part of the county and wanting to go to a different part of the county that isn't the opposite side of the county. Nobody out in the far eastern county, Brazos County, lives there because they want to be closer to Earn or Navasota. Perfectly nice places, though. Okay, and then the more recent justification lately has been north-south connectivity. Despite the growth of this county not representing a large enough growth to justify any of those loops, if and when there is some growth on the eastern county, it's primarily going to be the 9 to 10 parcels that are very large and stretch from Hardy-Wheaton to 21, including Miss Duke's and the Dansby's and Wheaton properties. And so I'm just going to pick on 2 of these properties. If and when they do decide to sell, and a developer comes in and wants these properties, they already stretch from Old Reliance to 1179, or from 1179 to the future route of University. Clearly, for the developer, is already going to want to put in a north-south route. It's going to be something more like Oakmont or Copperfield, maybe at largest something that looks like University right now. But a 100 to 125 foot connectivity. It'd be going north to south, and right now with 9 or 10 parcels, it'll already stretch all the way from Elmo or Hardy-Wheaton and 30 to 21 with just 10 parcels. And so then in putting a highway now instead, besides putting the highway right next to 30, making it even less worthwhile, it's detrimental to the development of those properties if and when those landowners decide they want to sell on. So the north-south part doesn't work either. And so then today, we've been given, the reason we have this scattershot approach I have to take is because agents of the county, employees of the counties, consultants of the counties have been forced to talk to us. And this is the scattershot approach they have taken to try to justify this, whether they were doing it through a lack of knowledge or not. Right? And so then we ask these people representing the county to us, why do you need it? Well, it's a bypass. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, well, no, sorry, it's a loop. And then there's the north-south connectivity. There's a lot of people in this room and a lot of people in this county who have been paying attention, who have lost faith in the idea that there is some kind of process, reasonable process on how decisions are getting made for highways like this or for other business of the county. And I would ask that today that you cancel this quid-pro-quo contract as a first step to help start restoring this faith in the county processes. Thank you.
Dr. Perdue, thank you. Excuse me. Dr. Perdue, thank you. I heard the doctor in that statement. Thank you. Before I call the last citizen, I want to be clear of the court's intentions. The court intends to call the last citizen, call for the vote on the motion in a second, and then we will recess for 5 minutes. It will be a hard 5 minutes, and then we will get back to the court's business. Just want that to be very clear, and thank you all for your patience getting to this point. Last witness on agenda item 4, the court calls Russ Ford. Russ Ford. Mr. Ford, please state your name and the precinct you live in.
That's Chairman Russ Ford.
No, he's citizen Russ Ford.
He's Chairman of the Republican Party.
Whatever.
Acting Judge Cassell, County Commissioners, and to the public here, I think I'm probably the person that you've all been waiting for.
Please state your name and the precinct you live in.
Absolutely. For the record.
Protocol, sorry.
For the record, my name is Russ Ford. I'm a resident of Precinct 2, and I'm the Republican County Chairman for Brazos County. I wanted to start out today by thanking and applauding Commissioner Fred Brown for his efforts in this fight. Fred has worked tirelessly on this thing for a long time, and as I heard someone else say earlier, before it was a popular position to hold. Fred, thank you very much. I also would like to thank Beverly and Kyle Greenwood for their work on this project. I know for a fact that there were some dark days during this situation, and the fact that Ms. Greenwood and also her husband worked hard and continued to do this thing the right way. In other words, they never challenged anything. They just made sure that we as a county were transparent in what we were doing. And lastly, and I don't think he's expecting this at all, but Commissioner Condola, I have been somewhat unhappy with his ability in the past to really support his constituents, and he has done a 180-degree turnaround, and I applaud the work that he's done in bringing this thing to a vote today. Thank you, sir. Sure. What I'd like to ask this Commissioners Court to do is to take this situation with several lessons learned. The first lesson learned is common sense could have told all of us that another loop less than 2 miles from Boonville Road did not make sense. That was not a good choice from day one. I think we were all sold a bill of goods here, and I don't know why. I don't understand the reasoning. Secondly, is that our county engineer's office needs help. The fact that they had to hire a consultant to work through this thing, I'm asking that we get them more help some way where they can do a better job in-house. If we're paying an outside consultant $150,000, over a period of time, we could have good help on staff in the engineering department that could help with these things. And then the third thing is that we use common sense in the future when we negotiate engineering contracts. To negotiate an $11.2 million contract without even a $200,000 study determining the need for that is not good use of our funds. And what I'm asking that we do, I realize that it took us bringing in an acting judge at another $193,000 a year, is let's use our money wisely. When we negotiate engineering contracts, let's make certain that the project makes sense before we just enter in on how to do it. It's like we got our priorities messed up on this thing, court. So I'm asking that you all, as our representatives, look hard when we spend $11.2 million. We probably need to do exactly like we did on the old BISD building and do a study on that project prior to entering into the full $55 million expenditure or whatever it may be. So I'm asking that the court use this situation as a lesson learned, and let's do things better in the future. Judge, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ford. To Ms. Abiad, listening, learning, and leading. I want to be very clear. This was the first request to talk about the East Loop on the agenda. With that being said, we have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor that show the judge voting aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Agenda item 4 is passed. We will take a 5-minute recess. It's 11:42.
As soon as you were done, Jason, everybody left. Yeah.
He wanted to unravel the whole thing and give 750,000 to the Parks and Rec.
It is 11:53 and the Brazos County Commissioners Court is back in session, and we are on agenda item number 5. Approval of the following appointment and reappointment to the Brazos Valley Council of Governments Board of Directors with a term of October 1, 2025 to September 30th, 2028. The appointment of myself as acting judge and Judge Peter Stead, and reappointment of Commissioner Wanda Watson, Commissioner Precinct 4.
I move for approval.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same side, and the motion carries. Agenda item number 6, approval of appointment of Jeff Baker to the Brazos Valley COG Solid Waste Advisory Committee.
So moved.
Move for approval. Oh, sorry.
Then
Second.
move and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same size, the motion carries. Agenda item number 7, approval for acceptance of donated or unclaimed property items left by inmates leaving the Brazos County Detention Center for the month of January 2025.
Move for approval.
We have a second.
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 8, approval of the first amended resolution 25-006 for the 2024 state and local cybersecurity grant program to amend the grant period to reflect the actual awarded period.
So moved.
We have a
Second.
motion and a second. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say same sign. The ayes have it. Moving to agenda item number 9, approval requested from the Sheriff's Office to receive grant funds from the Texas Association of Counties Risk Management Pool in the amount of $8,863.09 to be used for employee safety equipment for the enforcement and detention divisions.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? There being no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 10, approval requested for authorization to wire transfer up to $145,113.17 to the Health and Human Services Commission for uncompensated care demonstration year 12, fiscal year 2023, for the benefit of participating hospitals using funding from the Brazos Local Provider Participation Fund. Do I have a motion?
Move for approval.
I have a
Second.
motion and a second. Do I have discussion?
Just a reminder, these are budget neutral items.
Thank you, Commissioner. With a motion and a second, any discussion? No further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same size. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 11, approval of declaration of intent to commit funding from the Local Provider Participation Fund for the demonstration year DY14 uncompensated care to support upcoming IGT request.
Move approval.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? There being no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same size. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 12, approval of agreement number 25-145, residential services for Nueces County.
Move for approval.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
And we have a second. Any discussion? Being no discussion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same side. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 13, approval of agreement number 25-146, Juvenile Justice Center Detention Services with Nueces County. Do we have a motion?
Move
Move to-
approval.
We have a
Second.
motion and a second. Any discussion? There being no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same size. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 14, approval of an interlocal participation agreement number 25-149 with Goodbye Purchasing Cooperative as allowed by the Texas Government Code 791. Do we have a motion on approval of agenda item number 14?
Move approval.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Judge, I just want to ask Charles if this precludes us from the bidding process.
Court requests Mr. Witt to come forward. Take your time. Thank you.
So this is just a co-op, right, Charles? So this allows us to buy things collectively at a lower price.
Yes, sir.
Well, hopefully.
It does not restrict us from bidding it out, doing a solicitation, what have you. This is one additional option, one additional tool in our toolbox.
Okay.
Is that the answer you're
Yes, that's it. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
thank you, Charles.
Yes, sir.
Charles, thank you. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same size. The ayes have it. Moving to agenda item number 15, permission to advertise RFP CIP 25-606 Brazos Center parking lot repairs. Do we have a motion on agenda item
Move
number
approval.
15? We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. Do we have any discussion? There being
Judge?
none- Yes.
Judge, I asked our resident engineer, I guess she's here somewhere, but I still don't understand why. I mean, we build roads in the county, and I don't understand why we're not doing this.
Would you like
at the
Prathna
Brazos
to
Center.
come up?
Yes, please.
Prathna, would you please?
I talked to her this morning, and she said there was some equipment that we didn't have and this and that, but
Good morning, Prathna Banerjee, County Engineer. As I mentioned to Commissioner Brown, the scope of the work for this parking lot includes hot mix, surfacing, millings. It also includes striping, among other things. We do not have equipment for this type of work. In fact, when the county ourselves have a hot mix surface or striping, we employ consultants and contractors for, and that's why we don't have, the equipment. We are not just, set up. Otherwise, you're right. We do have the forces to and the knowledge to do it, but just not equipped enough to, carry out this kind of project. And that's why we're proposing to have people from our office to evaluate anybody who is, trying to bid on the projects, just so that we have the right people and choose the right people to do the work. And so, we're here to help, but, unfortunately, not physically. Boots on the ground won't be us, unfortunately.
Of course,
Thank you.
and the cost of that equipment would be enormous.
That and also the delay. I mean, it's just not time and cost conducive to, put in money in something like that for just a small project at this
Right.
point.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Commissioners. There is citizen input. The court calls Kathy Veens. Kathy, please state your name and the precinct.
Kathy Vians, Precinct 2. Thank you, Commissioner Brown, for bringing that up, because that was exactly my question. I looked up road and bridges, and it says that they construct new roads and bridges. I wasn't clear exactly on what the engineer was saying. We don't have the equipment for striping and hot mix. I'm not familiar with the process, so I wonder how often we need that kind of equipment, that we're hiring outside agencies instead of buying that equipment if we have the employees that work for the county already. Is it worth it? Because could be future roads that are going to require this kind of equipment, and it would save us money in the future to not have to hire outside people to do it. I'm just curious about that. Thank you. And thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate the conversation on the different agenda items. I'm very well aware, as you probably are, of the budget conversations that are coming up very shortly.
Catching up real quick.
Yeah, and it really is a big concern of mine, and so that's my main focus, is when I come to the podium to speak about the financial implications of all your decisions, and so I appreciate the conversation when those topics are brought up.
Absolutely. Do note it. And yes, all departments will be under review and looking to do the county's business economically as the will of this court. Thank you. Okay, we have a motion and a second on agenda item number 16. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same size. The ayes, excuse me, that
So
was
15.
agenda item
15.
number 15. We will do that one more time. The approval of agenda item number 15 with a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it. Moving to agenda item number 16, approval of the following evaluation committee for RFP CIP 25-606 Brazos Center parking lot. Hadley, Spencer, Eldridge, purchasing and legal. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve A through E.
Second?
And we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor,
Aye.
say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 17, consider and take action on the Welborn Special Utility District utility permit to construct a road bore at 6306 Stouseland Road to provide water service. Site is located in Precinct 1.
Move to approve.
We have a
Second.
motion and a second. Any discussion? Commissioner Nettles?
Nope.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Moving to agenda item number 18. Consider and take action on the Frontier Communication utility permit to construct road bores with the right-of-way of the following county road in Precinct 2, Rustic Oaks, Twin Creek, Greenleaf, and Shady Creek.
Move for approval A through D.
Do we have a second?
Second?
Do we have a motion and a second? Any discussion?
I would just ask that, I mean, this is great, but as we do road bores and we try to get more connectivity out to the rural parts of the county, if we're in a city, if we're in Curtin or Wixon Valley, I would love for the county to, as a habit, notify those municipalities that we're coming in, that those things are coming in. We're not coming in, but I would like our vendors, in this case Frontier, to be encouraged or required that they also speak to those municipalities so everyone is aware of what's happening.
Good idea.
Thank you, Commissioner. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it. Moving to agenda item number 19. Consider and take action on the Frontier Communications utility permit to directional bore fiber conduits within the right-of-way of the following county roads in Precinct 2.
Move for approval A through A through H.
Is there a second?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion, Commissioner?
None, thank you.
Thank you. Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Moving to agenda item number 20. Consider and take action on the Frontier Communications utility permit to directional bore fiber conduits within right-of-way of the following county roads in Precinct 2.
Move for approval A through E.
Do we have a second?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Moving to agenda item 21. Consider and take action on the Wixon Creek Special Utility Permit to construct road bore at 9347 Dillashaw Tap Road to provide water service. Site is located in Precinct 2.
Move for approval.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it. Moving to agenda item number 22. Approval of the final plat of Hunter's Crossing, Estates Phase 2, 52.03 acres, GH Coleman Survey Abstract 10, Francis Henderson Survey Abstract 20, City of Bryan, ETJ, Brazos County, Texas. Site is located in Precinct 2.
Move for approval.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second?
And we have a second. Any discussion? There are citizen inputs. The court calls Jody Quimby. Jody, please state your name and the precinct you live in.
Jody Quimby, Precinct 2. Thanks for the opportunity to offer my comments and questions on this particular agenda item. Overall, I printed the information linked to this agenda item, and just looking through it here, it looks like to me the plat application is not complete. You know, that's just a general view of it, and I'll give you some examples of why I think that. On the third page, you have a place that says receipt by Brazos County, and there's no signature, there's no indication there that Brazos County received this application. Then there's an application checklist that is there indicating copies of the plans going to different entities. After that, it says there's letters of approval to be sent by the approving institution directly to Brazos County Engineering. There's a letter from the Health Department, Brazos County 911, the the Water District, and then also an notification, actually approval of notification from the City of Bryan about the ETJ. Now, I don't know what the proper procedure is, but on the surface of just looking at this, as I started off, it looks like it's incomplete. Now, I don't know how Road and Bridge and this is carried on previous occasions, but I do know that the last sentence of this third page, which is the application, says, "It is understood that this application is not finished or dated until all documents listed above are filed at the Brazos County Engineering Office and all applicable blanks are filled in the application above." That's pretty clear. So, you understand my question. So, my comments here, my questions is it appropriate for a plat application to be presented to the Commissioner's Court with incomplete information? And the second question is, without the information required by the plat application, what action can the Commissioner's Court take on this agenda? And please comment and fill us in on what the proper procedure is and what's going on here.
Absolutely. I think we're in luck because I think our county engineer is still with us, and I will call Prathana to the podium to answer all our questions. Prathana, thank you for being here this morning.
Yeah, good morning again, Prathana Banerjee. The questions that the gentleman asked, we have all of the documentation that are listed on the application. We try to work with people to, have them fill out applications. We email them several times to give us complete applications. Some of the people are familiar with the process, some of them are not. So just know one of the things that if the application is at the Commissioner's Court for approval, it cannot be on the agenda if it is not complete. We have each and every piece of document that is absolutely required by our regulations that are approved by the court in 2016, the document that we go by. We do not add any applications on the agenda for approval until I have already approved it at the staff level. And then the court has the ability to approve or disapprove, or, if you have questions. But we have every piece of documentation needed per our regulations on the, to complete this application. Just the sometimes, like I said before, the applicants sometimes, forget or not, or, actually clicking the box, to give us a complete application. We're trying to work with people to tell them, hey, you got to click everything, you got to, check all the boxes. Some people do, some people don't. We try to work with people and try to, be good at customer service so that we're not being a roadblock in their project. We're trying to help them proceed. But never an application will show up on the agenda if it is not complete.
So this, go ahead, please.
I was about to say the same thing. So why is this, as you receive the supporting documentation that is required, why aren't the boxes checked so that when you submit this form to us,
yes,
we already know, we don't have to ask you, have you received all
so
the documents?
the application itself is actually supposed to be filled out by the applicant. And so they are, actually the issue happened during COVID. Pre-COVID, we were accepting paper applications and paper documents, and we were all paper everything. And then COVID happened, and so we tried to kind of transition to a place where we only accept at this point electronic applications and electronic, documentation, PDFs. There are, it is one of the holes that I'm trying to fix with when we come up with a new version of the subdivision regulations. The application, I've talked to the judge about it. The application is one of the places which needs some work, where actually if you see, the application also talks about hey, you need to give 3 paper copies to the county's office, and then 3 paper copies to the 911, and these paper copies. Nobody accepts paper copies anymore. The county has moved, our office has moved from paper copies into electronic. We have, scanned everything into Laserfish and so on and so forth. So it's a whole. So we're trying to, while we are in this transition phase, we're trying to work with people. Like I said, I will be happy to provide you with all the information if that's what the court, wants me to do with every complete application. I can provide with each of you with all the documentation that goes with it, if that's what the court wants to see.
Maybe
in
you
the
could have a
past.
one-page checklist that says to us,
From
this is a completed, from you, from the
Yes.
department, that maybe goes on top of this or behind it or whatever, that says all
Sure.
supporting documents have
Absolutely.
been received, and then it is signed if the applicant
Has
if the applicant
completed the
hasn't-
process.
Yeah, it doesn't complete
Yeah,
the
and,
process.
that-
Because that's the second time, I think, that was a question that came up.
Yes.
Do you have all of the support? It shows that
Absolutely.
you don't have it, and we need some way.
Absolutely.
So that this question doesn't come up. I
Yeah.
understand what you're saying.
No, I get
That
it.
you would not submit it if the
Right.
packet was not complete.
Correct.
But then when you have the supporting documentation, then there's the assumption that maybe the packet is not complete.
Absolutely. Yeah, and like I said, it's the applicant who's supposed to complete the actual application form. We try to work with them, but I have in the past floated an idea that I can provide a memo with my letterhead telling the court that, this is going through, these are what has been, like you just said, these have been completed by the applicant, everything has been met per our regulations. I've, thought of doing that once before. I think I did that to one of Commissioner Nettles's projects, because he had a few questions and I provided that to him. And I can make that as a protocol until we come up with a more formalized, process of updating our subdivisions as well as our applications when we hire the, consultant and do that process.
Or either you
but
be
in the
stricter with the
meantime,
applicant, or you be stricter with the applicant and
Oh,
said.
yeah, we are
until-
trying to do that, actually. We have reached out recently to the applicants that, hey, you got to go and fill out the application. Even though you're providing us with the documentation, make sure it's complete. So we're trying to do that with the applicants too. So I would welcome all suggestions as you feel. You can email them to me, or I can, like I said, provide a memo moving forward to the court, if that's, that'll help. So-
Okay. For clarity today, we have an agenda item.
Mhm.
All boxes are checked on this.
Yes, I
plan.
have all the documentation
So help me
regarding.
with the timeline when Mr. Quimby reviewed it and the application does not look to be complete
Mhm.
on his eyes, and it was just not updated by your office?
It was
for
not
the time
updated.
in this court today?
Yeah, it was not updated by the applicant. So we had actually, especially in this case, I particularly remember we had emailed the applicant to, check all the boxes. The engineer who has been employed by the developer is, I
But
believe,
those were not updated before court today? Or
No,
are
no,
they
we
updated now?
have all the documentation. It's just the application itself, the form itself, the boxes are not checked. I have the documentation, and I would be happy to provide it to the court if that's something you would want me to do. If you would like to, table this and you would like to look at the documentation, you would like to look at a complete application, however you decided. I have all the documentation that needs
My
approval.
only concern is if you submit all the documentation, that's more paper.
No,
It's more, so if you're going to, for all those boxes, there's paper documentation.
That's paper documentation
And so
linked
then
to
if you
it.
try to give us the completed document, even though the applicant did not fill it out, I'm
Right.
just wondering if a checklist
No.
from you would be, one more page of a checklist.
No,
from you.
what I would do is, I would ask the applicant to actually complete the application form itself and check all the boxes back
Okay.
and provide that to you, so that when you look at it the next time, you know that those are, provided. Because I have like you said, I have the actual documents related to each of those
Right.
items.
And maybe the word would be, because this is incomplete, I cannot submit it.
Correct.
To the agenda, it's going to be delayed. And
Delayed,
if that
yeah.
is a carrot or an encouragement for that person to
Absolutely.
complete the application.
Yes.
Then, I cannot submit it until it's completed.
Yes.
And that's on them. It goes back to
Correct.
the applicant.
Correct.
Okay, I understand it this way. All the boxes are checked. However, at one point they weren't. So
Yeah.
I'm understanding that our website or our documents are not up to date for today in court, but they are. But they were not updated, and our citizens cannot see that they're updated. So if it comes to the court, all the i's need to be dotted, all the t's need to be crossed, all the
Sure.
boxes need to be checked. And
Absolutely.
it needs to be clear for the citizens to see,
Right.
and our
Right.
conquest to be transparent and open. So
Absolutely.
we need
Right.
that to happen in a timely manner, especially
Right.
before every Tuesday at 10 a.m. So I thank
Absolutely.
you, and I believe you, and I understand that this
Right.
plat is correct.
Yep.
But
Yes.
from future going forward, everything
Understood.
needs to be taken care of, and it needs to be very, very visible and open.
Yes,
Yeah, so-
absolutely.
And we encourage you to get that done before
We-
Tuesdays.
And
We
that
will
goes back
make
to the
sure that our
applicant.
office does not add applications, even though they are complete in all intents and purposes, if the application itself, the document itself has not
Been
checked
complete.
all the boxes by the applicant, which
signed.
they are supposed to do. We will not add an application that's incomplete,
Correct.
even though they've met
But
each
it
and
needs to
every
be updated
requirement.
on our website and any
Absolutely.
public viewing.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That sounds great.
Judge, I'd like to move that we table this until next week when you can
We can do that.
return.
Absolutely. I can
applicant.
get you a complete application.
Thank you.
I'm going to look at our legal counsel. We have a motion and a second, and we entered discussion.
You'd have to withdraw the motion.
Who made the motion?
It was precinct 2.
Precinct 2 made the motion.
Oh, precinct 2.
Following parliamentary procedure.
Okay, so you're wanting to,
Table.
No, we're
Table it.
asking, yes, Commissioner
Yes.
Brown asked the table. You would then have to remove the agenda item, and then we'd start it.
Okay.
Remove your motion.
so that they can come back with the.
Yeah,
Correct.
the applicant.
Yeah,
has-
I'll get you.
Yeah,
I'll
it's-
move,
it's on
I'll
the
I'll
applicant
withdraw
now.
my motion.
So we have a motion to remove the motion. Is there a second?
Second to remove it?
Yes.
No,
You
the
need that?
person who seconded it needs to agree with his withdrawal
I
of his
agree to
motion.
remove it.
So
Thank you, sir.
Commissioner Nettles agreed with it.
So motion to table?
So now,
So now the motion to
Commissioner
table.
Brown
Oh,
has
sorry.
made a motion to
Sorry.
table. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. Agenda item number 22 has been tabled. Thank you, Prathana.
Thanks, Bob.
Judge, as to agenda item number 23, the applicant has contacted us and asked us to table this request ahead of this meeting, and I have written communication from a representative of the HOA. They apparently are in the final stages of coming to an agreement on their issues, and this would come back when those issues have been resolved between
Do we need
the parties.
Need a motion on that?
Need to table it, yes, ma'am.
So
I move to table it since it's in my precinct.
Second?
we have a motion table and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oh,
We have tabled this so many times. And that's fine.
Yes, I will read. So agenda item number 23, approval of the final plat of Oak Hill subdivisions lots 22R and 23R, being a replat of lots 21, 22, and 23. This is 11.56 acres, Stephen Jones League Survey Abstract Number 27, the City of College Station, ETJ, Brazos County, Texas. Site is located in Precinct 4. Request was previously tabled during Commissioners Court meeting held on June 17, 2025.
And I move to table it again.
And
And
I'd
the motion has
second
been moved to table, and there is a second. Any further discussion? There being no more discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same size. The motion has been tabled. Moving on to item number 24, tax refund applications for the following.
Move for approval A through E?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same size. Motion, agenda item 24 is passed.
Who was the second on that item?
Fred.
Fred, Commissioner Brown.
Downtown Freddie Brown.
Agenda item number 25, budget amendments, fiscal year 24-25 budget amendments, 39.01 to 39.10.
Move for approval.
We have a
Second.
motion from Commissioner Connor, a second from Commissioner Watson. Any discussion? There being no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 26, personnel change of status. Approval of personnel change status.
Move for approval.
We have a
Second.
motion and a second from Condola Watson. Any discussion? There being no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 27, payment of claims. Approval of payment of claims A and B.
Move approval, A and B.
We have
Second.
approval from Commissioner Brown, second from Commissioner Connor. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Agenda item number 28, convene, we will not convene an executive session today. No, sir. So, agenda item number 28, convene an executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code. We move to, I recommend a motion to table this amendment item.
So move.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 29, consider and possible action on executive session.
Moot.
Moot. Agenda item number 30,
so
acknowledgement. Sir?
I so moved.
So moved. Acknowledgement of Brazos County Emergency Services District, ESD, number 4, annual financial audit report for the year ending September 30th, 2024.
Move approval.
Well,
Oh, no,
there's
so just
just an
acknowledgement. I'm
Just
sorry.
acknowledgement.
Sorry.
No, thank you for
Out
paying
of sync.
attention. Agenda item number 31, acknowledgement of fiscal year 24-25 budget to actuals by funds as of July 23rd, 25. Acknowledgement of the fiscal year 2024-25 contingency budget to actuals by funds as of July 23rd, 2025. Agenda item number 32, acknowledgement of monthly reports submitted in July 2025. And agenda item number 33, Juvenile Director's Report on Detention Population. Linda, thank you for being here.
Good afternoon, Judge and Commissioners. We have 19 juveniles in detention, 13 males, 6 females, and we have 27 on electronic monitor. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Being a thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
Number 34, Sheriff's Report on Inmate Population. Sheriff Dickey, thank you for being here.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Today we have 746 in custody, 631 men, 115 women, and we have 37 on monitors.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir. Announcements and interest of items and possible future agenda topics. Commissioners?
August 9th, Precinct 1 is having a town hall at the Milliken Community Center, at 11 o'clock. Please join me, Constable Jeff Reeves, and Justice of Peace Kenny Elliott.
What time?
11 o'clock. There's also
11.
going to be a
Grits.
barbecue fundraiser for the fire department, so you can stop by and buy barbecue to support them.
But what's the grit situation look like?
Grits?
Grits and barbecue? I don't know.
No grits as far as I know.
I don't know. That's not a good menu.
Before we adjourn, I just want to say thank you to everybody for the decorum, the ability to work together, and I want to thank all our constables and sheriff's department for being here to help with the crowd. It was unexpected, but very smooth show today, and thank you all for being here. With that, it is 12:25, and the Brazos County Commissioners Court is adjourned.